Hey guys, Mike here. This is part 6 of my Furioso Dreadnought painting tutorial, and today we're going to be painting the golds. For you can see the colours I'm going to use. I've got two model colour paints here. One's called Old Gold and one's just called Gold. And also a wash GW, Griffin Sepia. So the idea is, I don't know if you can see, I've already painted the gold here. In fact, actually there is another colour. We need mithril silver as well, or in fact any sort of silver colour. I mean, the Model Air metallics are brilliant for this, but I decided to go with mithril. I've already painted the gold on the front of the power weapon here in those three colours, and it looks pretty good. So basically it's putting down old gold and then using the normal gold on sort of like the raised areas, and leave a bit of the old gold around the edges and stuff, and after that put mithril silver on the edges and then wash it all with Griffin Sepia to give it that nice gold tone. So let's crack on with this. We're going to be painting the back here in the same method, and then I'll just go ahead and paint the rest of it and show you what it looks like in the end. So first things first, we need to use old gold. Again, I'm filling this this paint 1:1 with water. In fact, sometimes actually a bit more, because this model colour is really it's kind of really thick, these particular golds I've got. So I'm filling it a bit more than 1:1 with water, maybe like 1:2. We'll see how it goes on, but this is going to take a few layers to get right, but it will make the gold look really smooth. So here we go. So this is just the old gold. Oh, and also when painting golds, if you as you can see what colour I'm painting on top of a brown colour. Golds are notoriously difficult to paint on top of a black undercoat, like say the silvers are. Silvers are great for painting on top of black, but not gold. So I used Valero Game Colour Beastie Brown as a base for the gold. So it means that basically if you don't get hit everywhere with this gold paint, the brown underneath will kind of it gives it that gold colour anyway. So it's a really good base coat for gold. The GW equivalent I found out is Bestial Brown. It's basically almost the exact same name. But yeah, or pretty much any sort of mid-tone brown is a really good base for this kind of work. So another tip with metallics is once you've painted them on, don't let them dry. Don't keep painting over the same area to try and make the the metallic pigment go where you want, because what I find with metallics is that you need to let them dry on their own, because the metallic flakes that are in these paints that make them look like metal, they need to dry and sort of align themselves on their own. And so if you get it onto a surface and you paint it on, don't go over that area until it's completely dry, because what you'll do is you'll end up just sort of lifting off all these nice self-aligned metallic flakes, and then they all become jagged and horrible again. So you just got to take your time with it and just put down a layer and leave it to dry, because it's pretty thin. It shouldn't take too long to dry, and you can always use a hairdryer or something like that, or move on to another area. So I've done the back of that with a first layer of old gold. Now I know for a fact it's going to need another 1, maybe 2 coats of this once it's dry, and that'll make a really nice golden base for the other 2 colours. So I'll just let that dry, and then I'll paint as many layers as needed of the same colour on top, and I'll go and do the other golds, like for example the head and this centerpiece thing and the eagle at the top, and then I'll be back when it's done. I'll see you in a bit. Okay guys, I've just finished applying the old gold. It only took about 2 coats to do the most of the gold work. and then a few, you know, just touch-ups here and there. But as you can see, the gold has gone on very nicely over the browns, and it's nice and uniform because of the thin coats and leaving it to dry between layers. So now I'm using just the gold, for that I call it gold. Again, I've thinned it, and then the idea here is to paint it on you know, upward facing surfaces and other raised areas, so that but leave some of the old gold behind. So you see here I'm just painting like this, almost this whole upper surface of this, you know, cylindrical part here, but I'm leaving a thin amount of the old gold around the blood drop. So this will take probably two coats as well. To get nice even coverage, but it should make the gold really, really nice. So yeah, I'll carry on painting the highest areas and stuff like in this method, and I'll show the results in a bit. See you in a bit. Okay guys, I've just finished putting the gold on all the golden areas. It only took 2 coats in most places. I took a little extra time with the head to make sure that it was you know, uniform colours, and it was really, really smooth. Along the pipes on either side of the what's it called? Sarcophagus? No. I painted a very like down the middle thin line of the gold to really emphasise that how they're round. I'm not sure how well the camera's going to pick it up. It's hard to capture metallic colours on camera. And along the eagle wings, I just put the normal gold along the edges, but again, you can barely see because of the reflectivity. But yeah, so I'm happy with the coverage of the gold at this stage. So now it's a case of using Riffle silver or whatever bright silvers you have, if you use the Valero stuff. And we're going to be using the silvers to do edge highlights, as well as on the top of this cylindrical shape. I'm just going to put the Riffle silver right on the top where the highlight is. I'm actually using the natural highlight caused by my lamp to make sure I put this in the right place as well. And then, so other than what I'm doing now, everything else should pretty much just be edge highlights with the Riffle silver, and that should make the gold really pop. So although I haven't done the edge highlighting tutorial, it's probably one of the ones coming up next. You know, use the side of your brush if you can, because it gives you a lot of control of how you can see how the bristles are going on the edge, and you can just gently rub along them, making sure you're only hitting the edges of the piece you're painting. Like so. But being a metallic paint, I doubt you can really see the effect. It's definitely something you can only really see with your own eyes, because you need to be able to hold the model and spin it around and see how the light plays along the surface for you to really get it. But I'll see if I can get a good close up. I'm not sure if you can see, but there's definitely the edge highlight there. So basically I'm going to be doing this on all of the golden areas I've got so far, and I'll show you what it looks like afterwards. I'll see you in a bit. Okay guys, I've just finished putting the Riffle silver on. I'm thinking it looks really, really cool, especially the head and the aquila, the eagle thing at the top. You can just about make out the change, but hopefully the next stage should, emphasise the shading and also tone down some of the silver work, because if you look at the it's quite a lot of silver there, but it doesn't really matter because the next stage, the Griffin Sepia wash, should tone the mithril down a tiny bit, and it will become more like that piece of gold at the front of the power weapon rather than this one. But so yeah, that's the next stage. I'm just gonna slap on some Griffin Sepia, and then hopefully the gold should be pretty much finished. It might be a case of coming back later and perhaps adding a few more mithril silver edge highlights on certain places just to really make them pop afterwards, but we'll see when we're done. So I'm just gonna put loads of wash in this area here. I painted the mithril silver on top of all those like the keys and the skull that's in there, even though I'm gonna be painting them probably later. I saved them basically. I was gonna paint them bulk and metal like the other metal parts, and then do the whole process of doing the metals on them. But I thought I wanted to see what it looked like with the silver first, so we'll see how it comes out. But I'll probably go back to that and paint them individually afterwards once this is dried. I've hit all the areas I want to hit with the wash. I might have to clean up a few areas to see I've got gold where I don't want it, which is fine because I can just scratch it off very gently with a cocktail stick, and in failing that just paint over it with the blue. But the cocktail stick method usually works. So I moisten the end of it and just gently rub over the area, and all those numerous layers of varnish I've applied really help here because I'm not damaging the paint job underneath. So I'll go around the model, clean up any parts I've missed, and then I'll show you the end result once it's all dry. See you in a bit. Okay guys, just finished everything. The wash has dried. I've been inspecting the where I've made a few mistakes and I've had to get rid of some of the paint from other areas, but all in all I'm quite happy with the overall look. You might be able to sort of see it's showing up quite well on the camera for the eagle on top, but yeah, I'm really pleased with that. I've still got to do the silver work on the centre plate properly, but other than that, everything's done for the gold. This dreadnought is all blinged up. So next tutorial, not sure yet. It'll either be edge highlighting or the metal work. I'm not. Alright, well, okay, between now and the next tutorial, what I'll do is I'll go round and add a Badab Black wash to all this bulk and metal areas, that shade all of the metal, and then that way the next tutorial can be about the edge highlighting, not only on like the red areas and blue areas but also on the metal areas. So I'll just do a quick demonstration of how I'm going to do it, techniques for doing it, basically the same as the technique used on the gold here, just using the flat side of your brush to put the paint on. So yeah, so I'll see you next time. If you like these kind of videos, don't forget to subscribe. Any comments or questions or advice from me, much appreciated. And yeah, take it easy guys. Bye bye.